I've been really asking myself, like, what do we do? What do you and I do in our everyday to participate in healing this world? There is a polycrisis, right? There's crises, massive global crises, ecological crises, humanitarian crises, across the board, at so many levels across the planet. And to be honest, they've been going on for a very long time. But the intensity has been so turned up, and the information, and we're so interconnected, and all of that. And so I sit here on a pretty daily basis feeling this pressure, feeling the outside world like unraveling and collapsing, in the sense of pressure to not just do something, but like do the right thing. As if there was a sort of moralism that could tell us that there's like a one-size-fits-all way to be an activist in this world right now. And I don't know about you, but I feel this. Like I feel this kind of pressure. And I think that ends up being another limitation that mimics these systems of domination from the outside. And I need to continuously, I don't know about you, but this is part of my practice. Like I continuously have to like grieve and forgive and like shed just like these dense emotions and come back into my own experience of living. And from there, I can actually touch my own spark, like where my rage gets ignited, like where my grief lives, my curiosities, my passions, my authenticity. It's like only once I've sort of shed all of that and come into my silence, and then I can feel like what I really stand for, what I want to live for, what I want to take responsibility for. And I think this part's actually really important. There's sort of this distortion that a lot of us hold, that like taking responsibility is somehow a burden, and that like the world is past repair, the car has driven off the cliff and we're already just in midair spinning, just like, you know, the collapse has already begun, that we're past hope, or that we need a savior, someone else is going to come, someone else is going to do it. And I think there's something really profound and sobering in recognizing that we might not see the world that we dream of in our lifetimes, but we can participate in creating the conditions for it to exist. And each of us has a very different way that we're going to do that. And there is no one-size-fits-all way. There's no need to shame yourself or punish others for not showing up in the ways that you think are best, or the ways that you think you're supposed to if you really care about this thing, XYZ. Because we all have a different way. And let's diversify, let's biodiversify the way and make space for people to be in their creativity and to be in their love and to be in their healing, and let that spread and let that ripple in the way that it's meant to. I think the existential dread and these feelings of nihilism and these feelings of hopelessness are really rampant right now. At least that's what I hear and feel from you when I come on TikTok, and when I'm out in the world, in my own life. Sometimes things feel a little better, and then other times you can just feel the way that the fear has like hit the airwaves of like the average person, and there's just this like lack of clarity on what to do and how to move forward. And I mean, little old me, what do I know? It's just my opinion, this is my perspective, having been grappling with this for about a decade and really contemplating this. I truly believe that there is an imperative for us to be in love, for us to be in a state of love. And that is a radical force, right? If your effortless beingness becomes inherently subversive to the dominant systems whose downfall you pray for, if your being is the prayer. Because you are so free. You are so joyful. You are so alive. You are so compassionate. You are so in touch that you've defeated those forces of numbing, those forces of distraction, those forces of addiction, those forces that allow the system to keep on churning. What a phenomenal form of resistance. That's not actually like perpetuating separation, but it's including both and through your willingness to be in romance with the world, your willingness to turn towards the discomfort, the pain, the grief, and not let it harden you. This is the practice. This is where politics and being human becomes a real spiritual practice. Don't let it harden you. This is spiritual warriorship. This is being so in integrity with your devotion to deep time, to the creative majesty that has built a world of unthinkable symbiosis across millions of species and organisms and time. And like, there is something so miraculous in the undercurrent of our existence, and refusing to just play in the most simple, dualistic, and depressing level of the existence, and instead opting to orient yourself towards the faith and love that you feel to the majesty and magic and beauty and miraculousness that is inherent in our nature, is so radical. And it's so important. I believe there is an imperative for us to be in love, to cultivate that. So this is what I do. This is my work. This is my mission. And feel free to check out my resources and come and hang out and stay a while, ask questions, participate. We're not alone. And it's not futile. It's deeply meaningful. And let's take responsibility for our romance.